Jonas Valanciunas appears to be a New York Knicks trade target as Knicks President of Basketball Operations Leon Rose was seen already talking to Valanciunas, someone who he's wanted to be recruiting to this team for some time now, and we're going to break it down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. We're going to jump right into the video because Leon Rose was recently seen hanging out with none other than Jonas Valanciunas, as this picture was taken of Valanciunas really just hanging out and talking to Leon Rose and Garrison Rosas, two guys who are very high up in the Knicks organization. Obviously, Leon Rose runs the show. He's the one making the trades. And the Knicks did have interest in Jonas Valanciunas in free agency. They had interest in Jonas Valanciunas, or will have interest in Jonas Valanciunas at the trade deadline when the Wizards try to move him for some assets. And now he's seen talking to Leon Rose here, and there are some rumors, there are some whispers that Valanciunas wanted to be a Knick during last offseason. So the one that just ended, Valanciunas appeared to want to come to New York, but after the OG Anunoby contract, it's possible that it just became essentially impossible for the New York Knicks to go out there and trade or sign Valanciunas away, and now we're going to have to wait to see if they can make a trade for him if they really do want to go for the Lithuanian big man. Now, Valanciunas obviously is a very particular player, as he's not exactly the defender that Tom Thibodeau wants, but also neither is Karl-Anthony Towns, and the New York Knicks defense already looks phenomenal. Now, Valanciunas, he put up 12 points per game last year with 9 rebounds and 2 assists. He played in all 82 games, shot 30% from 3, nearly 31%, shot 56% from the field. The problem is he's not a very good defender at all, but he does look like Travis Kelce, so maybe that helps with something. Someone's going to hate me for saying that. But look, Valanciunas, he adds a bit of dimension to the New York Knicks that they did need before they traded for Karl-Anthony Towns, and in a way I was open to the deal because, hey, yeah, obviously he can't defend, but, you know, you got great defense, but now you kind of have, like, if Jonas Valanciunas were 10 times better in Karl-Anthony Towns, to where you don't really need Valanciunas on this team anymore. And I'm going to be honest, I do not want the New York Knicks to go for Jonas Valanciunas at all. This is another instance where I stand by. I would literally rather Moses Brown have a center spot than this guy. I understand I'm very high on Moses Brown, and Ariel Hukporti looked really, really good in the preseason so far. We'll see him get a full contract from the Knicks. And that's going to be something where now the Knicks are going to have a few centers. They're going to have Towns, who could play the power forward or the center. They're going to have Hukporti. They're going to have Precious Achiuwa, who could play the 4 or the 5. They're going to have Jericho Sims. Moses Brown will be on the team's G League, Westchester Knicks. So we will potentially see some of him. And if the Knicks decide to make a trade and have some money freed up. Long story short, the New York Knicks are going to go out there and they're going to make a move for someone eventually throughout this season. I do imagine Precious Achiuwa is going to get traded off the Knicks. I now am starting to think that Mitchell Robinson is going to stay. As we all know, Mitchell Robinson is out till January because of that stress fracture. And because of that, the Knicks are not going to have any rim protection until then. Now, Valanciunas, or well, I guess they will with Hukporti and Sims to a degree when they play. But it's unclear how much those guys are actually going to be getting in the rotation with the Knicks, as the Knicks like Precious Achiuwa more than they like Jericho Sims. And in his own way, Precious gives some rim protection. But it's not exactly the rim protection that we're looking for because he's 6'8". So it doesn't, it doesn't bring much, except for the fact that he held Joel Embiid to 1 point in Game 4, as I like to mention, of last year's playoffs. But it's a new year, new season. We're going to need more rim protection eventually this season. The Knicks are going to need a center who can go out there and lock down opposing big men when it has to happen, and they have that in Mitchell Robinson. They're just not going to have that till around the middle of January, and that's fine because it's more important that the Knicks have Mitchell Robinson in April than they do in October. I frankly couldn't care less if Mitchell Robinson isn't going to play at all this 2024 part of the year, as long as he's playing in the playoffs and he's fully healthy. That's what I care about. We've seen Mitchell Robinson be a game changer when it comes down to things such as playing the Cavs, when he bodied both Jared Allen and Evan Mobley at the same time, or going up against Philly and giving Joel Embiid some real tough defense to where the Knicks were down 9 in that Game 1. Mitch comes in after Hartenstein was getting cooked by Embiid, and then Mitch slows him down. The Knicks end up going on a massive run. And if the Knicks wanted to acquire Jonas Valanciunas, the most tradable contract they have for that is Mitchell Robinson. You lose so much more defense that way. And now the Wizards would have to add something. Mitch makes $14.3 million this season. Valanciunas makes he makes exactly $10 million. Meaning the Wizards are going to have to throw a little bit more money at the Knicks in form of some player, or maybe they could just not, and the Knicks can save some money, and then if they really believe in Huck Porty or Moses Brown, they could do something there. They could sign Brown to the team. They could wait and sign a center in the buyout market like a Clint Capella, who will probably get traded this year and potentially bought out depending on what team trades for him, if they can get draft assets for him, but they're not a contender. And then maybe you see that happen. But where the Knicks stand right now, it's really hard to imagine they're going to make a move for Valanciunas after trading for Karl-Anthony Towns. It's so redundant. The defense would be terrible if they were ever on the court at the same time, which they wouldn't be. And look, you'd probably lose Mitchell Robinson in the process. But this is far from the first time we've seen Valanciunas to the Knicks stuff, as the expectation is the Wizards will begin looking for a trade for Valanciunas in December when he becomes eligible to be traded. And a Knicks fan who the jury's out on if we really trust him. There was some noise that apparently OG was going to take closer to 30 to 35 million before Mikal Bridges got traded, and there was a threat from a guy who plays the same position. Then he moved his number to 40 and was convinced to stay in New York by Leon Rose's son, Sam Rose. Sam Rose is OG's agent, and the Knicks were upset because it meant their flexibility was gone to sign a center, and Valanciunas wanted to come to the Knicks, but then after the signing and trading for Bridges, they had no flexibility left. So it became this whole situation where it allegedly became this whole situation where essentially the Knicks lost their chance to go get Jonas Valanciunas, and that did kind of lead to the Towns trade, but the team through these preseason games looked really good with Towns, so I'm kind of happy with what happened. And Valanciunas is not the marking of the most excellent player, especially on defense. So, look, guys, here's the deal. The Lakers, according to an anonymous NBA executive, the Lakers are probably in better shape to get him because they could make it through a trade, but they'd have to give up a draft pick because there will be a market as the Knicks, they're always looming. The Warriors were looming, and the Bucks, depending on what goes on with Brook Lopez, if Lopez still isn't going, or if he doesn't, this could lead to Valanciunas getting traded there. Look, we all know Valanciunas is going to get traded some point this season. He's not going to stay on the Wizards. He's 32 years old. He signed this deal because it was probably the most money he got offered, and he knew he was going to get traded halfway through the season so the Wizards could get some draft assets for it. Win-win on both sides. The New York Knicks better not go out there and get Jonas Valanciunas, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I highly doubt they're going to at this point. It just doesn't make any sense. I really don't see this one happening. I really think that this boat is missed. I think there's a world where it would have happened if they didn't go out and trade for Towns. But after trading for Towns, this just makes absolutely no sense. And I do not think we'll see it happening. But guys, let me know what you think down below. Make sure to tune into the live stream at 6 p.m. tonight, Friday, October 11th. Every Friday at 6 p.m. we will be going live with Knicks Digest Happy Hour. Now, obviously, there is Friday Night Knicks coming up because the season is right around the corner. We're 11 days out from the NBA regular season. When that happens, we'll probably find a way to adjust. But, guys, make sure to tune in for that. It's a great time. Me, my co-host, my happy hour co-host, Matt Long, will be back with us. We're going to get some guests in soon. We're just trying to figure out what this whole thing is first, if it's got legs to stand on its own, just the happy hour thing in general. So, guys, make sure to tune in. It's the most fun live stream you're going to find on any form of Knicks media. Have a great day, and go Knicks.